Hello and welcome to this lesson in FortiADC load balancer. As we see in the previous lesson, we learned how we can make layer 4 load balancing, layer 7 HTTP load balancing. Today I'm going to speak with you about layer 7 HTTPS load balancing, how you can use FortiADC to be like your SSL offloading device or your centralized certificate management device. So without further ado, let's start by trying, instead of communicating with HTTP on this web server, let's try to make it HTTPS. First of all, we'll need to log in to our FortiADC in order to create a certificate profile or make HTTPS. If you here try to make an HTTPS profile, it will ask you to first let's go here, for example, edit this one. If we change this profile to HTTPS here, it will ask you to add a client SSL profile. This client SSL profile, it is the default profile, but in many cases it will not be acceptable by the organization. You need either to add your local certificate signed by your local CA, or a public certificate signed by a public CA like DigiCert or let's encrypt or whatever. So for the sake of this lab, I just created this certificate service. I enabled, like, this is our CA for this domain, Arab Exploit Windows Server CA, and I will sign the certificate locally from here. But in real scenarios, you will generate a self-signed request provided to system admin, and he will sign it from his certificate authority. So let's go to FortiLoad Balancer. First of all, you will need to go to Settings and Certificates, Manage Certificates. And in the local certificate here, you will need to generate a CSR. So if you come here, let's generate this CSR. Let's call it web server HTTPS dash local certificate, or let's follow the naming convention as it is here, but here there is no naming convention, so I will generate one with my own name, web server HTTPS local dash certificate. Okay, I will keep using the host IP, which is 200.200.200. No, not this one. Oh, yeah. 200.200.100. This is the IP address. The organization unit will be IT. Organization will be Arab Exploit. Locality, let's say Kuwait. Province or state, KW, and the country will be Kuwait country. We will add subject alternative name. Let's call it DNS app.arabhacksploit.local, and let's also add the IP 200.200.200.100. Let's make this key bigger, ES256, and let's use 142 SHA-256. And let's save this certificate. Let's see what it will say. Now it generated a certificate signing request. In real life, you will, in real life, you will download this certificate, download web server certificate, and you will send it to the system admin, and he will sign it from his public CA or internally. So what is really happening, you will go here, edit this certificate, copy, and on this certificate authority, let's request a certificate, advanced certificate request, and I will paste it here. and this is a web server certificate, and I will submit. Then I will download the certificate. Keep it. This is a 30U1. So now I will import it to FortADC. If I import it here, this is a local CSR certificate, and I will choose this certificate, open and save it. Now you have this certificate signed and okay, it is ready. If you edit it, you will find that it is valid for 2 years, and the issuer is the local domain controller Arab exploit, and this is the Windows server which is signed this request, this one. And here is the subject Kuwait. This is the subject alternative name, DNS app at Arab exploit at arabhacksploit.local, IP address 200.200.100, and this is the full name of my CA issuer, and I will save it. Then I will need to create a local certificate group. Create new, let's call it H. Is there any naming convention here I will need to follow? Local cert group, okay. I will create a new one. Local HTTPS underscore cert group, save, and then I will add my local certificate here. The local certificate will be web server HTTPS certificate. Save it and save. Then I will need to create a client SSL from application resources. This is my client SSL profile which will be used. Let's take this one and copy it. Copy, and here SSL profile, and instead of default I will add web server. This is all the ciphers if you need to enable if you need to disable 1.0 or enable 1.3, it's up to you. And here in the local certificate group I will add the certificate which I created, local HTTPS cert group, and I will save it. Then I will go to the virtual server and copy what is in HTTP here, clone. Sorry, let's have the naming as well. Control C, HTTPS, and I will save this one HTTPS instead of HTTP. And in the general section here I will change this one to 443, which is the HTTPS port, and instead of low profile HTTP I will use profile HTTPS, and in the client SSL I will use the one which I created. And I will leave the read server pool as web server pool HTTP, and I will save this configuration. Okay, now I have, if I go to my potato PC and if I type here, I'm not sure if it is, let me zoom in. Here, can you see it? If I said HTTPS 200.200.200.100/app.html, it is not working, but I believe why it is not working, because I did not allow port 443 to pass through the FortiGate. Let's just make it quickly. Here, if I went to FortiGate, admin, later. Here, if I want to policy and objects, I believe I only allowed HTTP. So let's allow HTTPS as well. Here, 443 HTTPS, and I save the configuration. Let's do it one more time. Now it starts giving me that it is not secure because it is a self-signed certificate, but I believe you got the idea here. Accept the risk and continue. Here is our web server working on HTTPS. And if I inspected the certificate, more information, you can see here that it is verified by our local CA. If I said view certificate, this is the information which I put Kuwait, and the organization is Arab Exploit IT, and the common name is 200.200.200, and it is a local certificate signed by my local server, local CA, and the DNS name is app.arabexploit.local, IP address 200, and this is the algorithm, whatever I did, but here it's giving you like a signing verification error because it is a self-signed certificate. If you give it to the administrator and he signed it from his public CA, something like DigiCert, for example, it will not show you here because by default, DigiCert is here in your trusted hosts. If you go here, let me just open it to know where exactly it is found. Cert manager.msc, cert manager.msc. It will try to open here in your trusted root certificate. If you go to certificates, you will find all these certificates already trusted by your PC. However, in my case, it is a self-signed certificate, so that's why it's giving me this warning. But anyway, it is working on HTTPS port and the traffic is encrypted. However, sometimes you will not need to add HTTPS because the user in real scenario he will not just add HTTPS, he will just add the name. So you need to redirect from HTTP to HTTPS. How we can do that? Here, if you went back to FortADC and go to HTTPS, edit, and try to redirect HTTP redirect to HTTPS. If you said OK here, it will tell you the specified IP address and port is already in use by another virtual server because you already have a server which is enabling port 80. So how you can redirect? The FortADC will not know if it is coming here or here and redirect. So you need to delete this one first. If I deleted it, then I go to this virtual server, edit it, and in the general I will say redirect HTTP to HTTPS and save it. Now it is saved. If I went back to my potato PC and let's close it, or even better, let's open a private one, new a private window, and I type HTTP 200.200.200.100, enter. You see, it redirected me to HTTPS, and I will see advanced, accept the risk and continue. And now it directed me to the web server, say app.html. This is my web server 1, 10.0.1.101. So here, even if I went to HTTP, he will redirect me to HTTPS. So long story short, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to create your own certificate, managed certificate, local certificate. You generate your CSR, or you import directly. You can import certificates from here. Either he will give you certificate file and key and password, or he will give you public key CS. You choose the file and you add the password, or you generate your own self-signed request, provide it to the administrator, sign it, and import it back to your FortADC. Then you create your local certificate group, add the certificate which you just did. Then you go to server load balance, application resources, client SSL, and create your own client, whatever you want. If you want to define, like I don't want to use TLS version 1.1, I want to use only 1.3, and you add your local certificate group. Then in the virtual server, you enable the HTTPS profile here. Once you enable the HTTPS profile, he will ask you for the client SSL profile. This one, you add it and you are good to go. I hope this video shed some light on certificate management process and how you can generate your self-signed request certificate and import it to your FortADC. And I hope this course has been informative for you. Unfortunately, I can't do the HA because this is a VM. I'm not sure, or it is not, I'm not able to do the HA here. So I will just, to do the HA configuration, you'll just go here and change the mode. See, mode is standalone. I cannot change it. Can I edit it here? Active, passive, and you provide the group name, group ID, priority, the monitor interface, heartbeat interface, data interface, and you synchronize. It is just a straightforward configuration. You don't need to do a lot of stuff. It is a straightforward configuration. Provide group ID and group name same, and the priority, the higher priority will most probably become the primary, and you add your monitor interface, which interface you monitor and which interface you'll use for heartbeat and which interface you'll use for data in case of you are synchronizing the sessions. Okay, I hope this course has been informative for you, and don't hesitate to reach me if you have any questions. You just send it to me, and I believe this يعني most likely what you will need to do in most of your load balancing technology, whether you are working with FortADC or working with F5 LTM. Same concepts apply. You will need to have your own, you need to create health check, you need to create the persistence profiles, import certificate, create real server virtual IPs, take care of the network configuration part if you want it to be configured like destination net or full net or direct routing. So I hope it's been informative, and thank you very much.